I have opened the door, but closed the window. Well, I'm a
An
window
inspiration die for
close
Ellie,
door.
for Eo. Ellie's my default, but it's Eo this time. I got a laugh from Ellie. Brings me joy.
Yes.
So the complication is you are still currently part of the door.
Um. Hmm, hmm.
All right, I have button pressed. Hello and welcome to Cartoon Physics. This is kind of sort of Lasers and Feelings, but we scratched off the serial numbers and added a whole bunch of nonsense. Essentially, imagine, if you will, retired cartoons and the wacky hijinks or seriousness that progresses because of that. My name is Crash. I'll be your DM for the evening. Well, GM. You're Drawn Master, I guess. Regardless, I am not the main character tonight. Tonight I'm joined by a bunch of awesome people, including Beth, Ellie, and Eo. I would ask what happened last time, but it's a one-shot. So, how about we introduce our characters?
Who goes first?
Alphabetical by second letter of your middle name.
I don't have a middle name.
Then you go first.
I'm Knight. I'm an animated suit of armor. Oh, there was more to that. Right. Well, I was the defender of a haunted castle, except then mystery-solving teens arrived and explained that we were being exploited by the wizard in residence, who I believe was actually a teenager with a book of strange magics. And so we became a union shop. But it turns out there is not actually much call for haunted castles after Halloween is over, and so I retired.
Spirit Halloween does provide seasonal work,
Yes,
but it's mostly modeling.
I am an excellent model. I am very good at standing still for long periods of time.
And with that chuckle, let's move on to Beth. Beth, who are you playing?
I am Raylene. I am a shoujo character who is sort of a magical girl who tends to be, more in the magical form than not. Hero. I am a hero from some knockoff thing that it's not Sailor Moon. It's some no-name knockoff, but I will save the day and do heroic things. And it's possible that I might need to crash at a friend's place. So, you know how it goes.
Speaking of knowing how it goes, Ellie, who's your character?
I am Cosmonaut Helena. I used to be a co-star of Cosmonaut Solinche, which I may not be pronouncing properly. I was Cosmonaut X1 and was supposed to be the hero of the show, but instead played a lesser part. For the fans.
Otherwise known as the Lancer. Sorry.
Yes, we do not talk about that. My merchandise sold better anyway.
You may borrow my lance.
Oh, thank you, but I have my own.
Ah, excellent. We are prepared for jousting when it is time for the tournament.
Indeed. I look forward to competing against you.
I will cheer you both on from the sidelines.
For making me laugh out loud, Ellie gets an inspiration die, which is not necessarily a thing in a one-sheet RPG, but I'm doing it anyway. Next time you're asked to roll for cartoon or physics, you add another d6 to the roll. Now let's talk about your house. It's different from last time we did cartoon physics. We also have slightly different rules because we tweaked them, because Ellie made some great suggestions. You are in a fanciful fortress this time around, which I envision to be Winchester Mystery House, but what if a castle?
Yes.
And in this particular case, it did in fact catch ghosts because it's haunted. It was haunted before night arrived.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have their own union.
They do. There's some disagreement about whether or not a retired suit of armor should have to pay union dues. They're currently agreeing to disagree.
Yes.
The
I am
haunted
not
denizens, yeah.
employed in scaring anyone.
Which is a shame, because the HOA could possibly deserve that. About that, your quest for the evening, which I rolled up randomly using the table included in the rules, which are available in the show notes for those of you who are hearing this. I make sure to put a link to it. I rolled the HOA wants to steal/capture the animated race, which will end civilization. I'm just going to pause and appreciate using this particular set of random tables to create that plot line, and then having to think about how in the world that makes any sense. Because it at least needs to make enough sense for it to be reasonable if one squints at it while side-eyeing it. And here's how I figured it out. So you're all retired characters. There's a ton of retired characters, and the studio that is in charge of the animated race is what's controlling your world. The only way they're making money is by creating a weekly series using a lot of stock footage and stuff that they purchased from other animation studios that have since gone bankrupt. I never mind about that. To release a weekly race video that gets put in a cartoon series on, I don't know, the equivalent of the USA Cartoon Express, but with the serial numbers filed off. But the HOA has some disagreements about whether or not a wacky race should, well, not a wacky race, legally distinct animated race, whether or not that should be done, because they have some rules against racing in the area, and really you need to stop doing that. But if you stop doing that, the cartoon studio goes out of business, and you're kaput.
Not great.
Yes. And we begin this episode with all of you and possibly several ghosts all leaning in around a notice from the HOA that they intend to seize all rights and permissions for the animated race.
Don't like that.
We need an animated lawyer.
Are they going to trust an animated law? I mean, will they listen to an animated lawyer?
It usually seems to work. They yell objection a lot and do legal things.
We might need an animated judge as well.
I was an animated lawyer once, but I lost my license to practice after I asked the cat, GPT, for advice. Don't trust the cat. The unhelpful ghost drifts through a wall and vanishes.
Maybe we should try to take over the homeowners association.
An invasion.
Or an infiltration or something.
Yelena, do you have any ideas?
Well, perhaps Raylene could transform at them, and by the time that is over, they will have forgotten about it.
It's an awfully embarrassing transformation sequence.
You don't have to. It was just a thought.
This
Also,
transformation
it
sequence
wrecks
has
my
led
outfits.
to... Yeah, this transformation sequence has led to 3 different letters from the Homeowners Association.
I try to avoid it.
I could stand outside their doors and lay siege.
I'm not sure if that would work, but I'm not quite sure if I could say.
We could challenge the heads of the Homeowners Association to a duel.
Oh, I like that idea.
Ah, yes.
I'm now envisioning the knight showing up to the Homeowners Association president, taking off their hand because it's a glove, and
exactly.
smacking them in the face.
That is exactly. Yeah.
Then reattaching it.
This is, in fact, their plan.
Yeah, that sounds. This sounds like a perfectly reasonable plan to me. I mean, it's heroic, right?
Right.
Okay. So, are you heading over to the president's house?
Apparently.
Okay. So you lower the drawbridge, go down the precarious, drawn to be always crumbling stairs made of stone carved into the side of a mountain to the perfectly well maintained sidewalk that is right next to a rather busy street, because the castle is just sort of has chunked right down into the neighborhood. The first difficulty you've got, however, is that wonderful, not wacky because that's trademarked, but animated race that is the one in question is taking place right now. There is a lot of comically proportioned vehicles going down the street that you need to cross. How do you get across the street?
Oh, we appear to be late.
Well, they're trying to take it over, not necessarily. I mean, they probably want this to be like the last one.
They actually run 3 of these a day, then splice together a highlight reel.
Yeah, sounds about right.
There actually is some truth to the HOA's statement of these are starting to become a disruption.
Hmm.
The lie is in the word starting.
If it weren't a matter of life and death, though, we can go over, under, or through.
I vote
thinking
over.
with-
I don't have
Reasonable.
a shovel.
That does mean that under would be a problem. I mean, unless the dungeons lead under. The castle has dungeons, I assume.
They don't go beyond
I
the property
always
line.
get lost.
That's fair.
There is a sewer system. Part of your HOA fee goes to the maintenance of it.
I think I'd like to avoid the sewer system.
I'm not good at jumping. They didn't give me a frame where I jump.
That is too bad.
Yelena, do you think that we could jump together heroically and carry Knight?
I do not see why not.
Obviously, we should try this.
Okay. So this is going to be a cartoon roll because you're attempting to jump over a city street while carrying a haunted suit of armor. I cannot in good conscience call that a physics roll.
No, you can't. You definitely cannot call that a physics roll.
So I am going to be a kind and gracious GM and let Cosmonaut Yelena be the one who's doing this.
Yes, you should, because I'm actually supposed to be a more serious one.
And I've already given an inspiration die to Ellie for this. I will say that with Raylene helping, that means you get to roll 3d6.
If this is a cartoon roll, I'm going to suggest real hard that Raylene be the one to roll.
Oh,
Oh, we're doing
Okay.
it backwards.
Oh, we're doing it backwards. I should
Yeah,
have
I do that all the time.
same number
that
that
means your
Yelena
number.
does.
Yeah, that means your
Yeah.
number should be 2 because we were planning it backwards. Yeah.
Whoop.
Okay.
Sorry.
So that means Raylene should be doing this, and because Raylene does not have an inspiration die, you get to roll 2d6.
2d6. Okay.
This is the same problem people have in Lasers and Feelings all the time.
2d6. Public roll. Roll them.
Okay. So that is a 3 and a 2.
Mm-hmm.
Those are both under your number. Alas, neither of them is a cartoon physics. So no extra bonuses. But with 2 successes,
Oh.
you do it well. Good job. So as you...
Take an
Sorry?
arm each and jump.
Yes. It's very heroic. For most of the jump, there are speed lines flying behind you with no background whatsoever.
Yes.
And then they go away so you can briefly look down at the scene directly below you. And it kind of looks like a map for Frogger.
Obviously, that was the through version.
It would have been the through version, yes. And then the speed lines happen again, but at a 45-degree angle from the actually a 90-degree angle from previous speed lines because it was at a 45-degree angle. You get the idea. Math.
Huh.
Who wants math in a TTRPG game, for crying out loud? And you land on the other side of the street.
There are undoubtedly going to be some dents here and there.
All right. Well, you have done a little bit of damage to the sidewalk, yes. It is the most obvious damage because everything else about this side of the street is pristine. The yard in front of you is perfectly manicured. Each blade of grass rises to the exact same prescribed height as outlined in the HOA bylaws. There are flower beds having just the approved species of flowers, none of which are native to the area, lining the pavers that go from the sidewalk to the front door, which has a seasonal, but not specifically calling out any particular holiday, wreath on the front door. It also has one of those IoT device doorbells attached.
You don't trust those things.
Fresh.
I see the chat, and
Okay.
with 3 characters, there was going to be some overlap in number choices, and I'm okay with whatever's done. I will say that the
Okay, I
seriousness
will.
of one character is not the same as the seriousness from another.
I can change to be sillier, though, and I am fine with that.
You certainly can, and I'm okay with it if you want to.
I do. I will do
Okay.
that.
What do you want your number to be now?
I will put it on the other end. I will be a 5.
You will be a 5. Okay. You will be even more silly than Raylene.
Yes.
Silly and
However,
heroic.
importantly, Knight does not know that they are silly.
I like this plot twist. Imagine, if you will, Knight tries to be serious all the time, but is a silliness magnet.
Basically.
The ghosts in the fanciful fortress that you inhabit did not start acting up as much before Knight arrived. And the wacky hijinks that ensue are all in relation to Knight.
Oh, no.
That's my headcanon.
I don't
Also,
know
I'm
why
loving the-
these things happen to me.
I'm loving the art that Ellie has posted for her character. Okay. So yes, you are, I hope obviously, directly in front of the president's house. The HOA president, not the other president.
I imagine that the president of Animation Land, or whichever it is a extremely generic president of no political party or particular common sense, who also does double duty as the mayor when necessary.
Based on previous dealings, you are fairly certain they think the mayor is supposed to answer to them.
Ah,
They are, in fact, have you ever seen Over the Hedge?
A while
No.
ago. Long time ago.
That had an HOA president. They always have a wide smile on their face, and they greet everyone warmly, and they very kindly tell them that they are doing everything wrong and you need to get into shape or things are going to go very badly for you. With a smile.
oh, I was still thinking about the president.
I would like to not think about the president.
Eh,
I play these games to relax.
eh.
That's true. I was just riffing off of the extremely generic politicians in cartoons.
Ah, yes. Well, HOA president is an elected position, but somehow they managed to run unopposed because no one else can fulfill the proper requirements to get on the ballot.
Funny that.
Well, I will march up and politely ring the doorbell.
Okay. As you are marching up, like I said, it's an IoT doorbell, so it's got the little camera embedded above the button. And you're fairly certain that you see the camera lens shift as if it is refocusing on you as you get closer. Apparently, it has a built-in zoom lens.
Ooh. That thing's creepy.
Well, yes, it's an IoT device camera.
I assume it's haunted.
No point there.
Ellie, this GIF you have found. That is such an expensive thing, if not animated. I know how much those cost. And no photographer in their right mind would ever have a telephoto lens fly off of their camera like that.
Not on
But
purpose.
Not on purpose. No, never on purpose.
You're going to traumatize.
I'm not traumatized. I think it's hilarious. But I also know that is really, really bad. So you approach the haunted doorbell and you press the button. And there is a series of chimes that you hear echoing throughout the interior of the home. They just go on and on and on for a good 15 seconds.
It seems excessive. Maybe they're having a transformation sequence.
Then it is time for the fight.
Well, we are going to challenge them.
The front door opens. The screen door remains closed, but the front door opens, and a woman in a business suit with every hair perfectly in place, and a grin that is perhaps a bit too wide for her head, with perfectly straight, white teeth, smiles at you. You are a haunted suit of armor, but you feel like you should get your blood sugar checked. Well, hello. What an unexpected surprise to see you here today.
Madame President, we have come to challenge you to a duel for the sake of the animated race. And Knight does, in fact, start removing one of their hands.
Oh, now, we can't have
Not slap
that.
her in the face, because that seems excessive, but
Are you, in fact, attempting to slap her through the screen door?
no. I said not
Okay.
to slap her in the face, because
Okay.
that seems excessive.
But you are
But-
taking off one hand. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Well, I expected a reaction like this, and we simply can't have that. So, goodbye. And that is when the small porch area that the three of you are standing on flips upside down.
What?
What is
You are
this?
falling.
American magic.
You are falling.
It did not have a
You-
different color.
You do not have speed lines. It was a different color, but it was all a different color. That's what hit it. The entire porch flipped.
What trickery.
You do not have
As
speed
the
lines behind you.
challenged party, you may decide the weapon with which Knight is calling up towards
Oh, yes.
the...
So my assumption is like, as the challenged party, you have the right to...
Yep.
You don't have speed lines behind you. You have cement brickwork, like cinder block bricks, as a looping animation behind you to show that you are falling, as your characters remain perfectly still in the shot. How do you prepare to land?
Twist like a cat in midair in order to heroically do a 3-point landing on the, all feet, etc. I gotta get a good pose for her.
Okay, this is going to be a physics roll,
Oh no.
and we know what Raylene is doing. What are Knight and Cosmonaut Yelena doing?
Knight takes off their boots to land on their ghostly feet. Their ghostly invisible feet.
Shock absorbers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a silly roll. That's going to have to be a cartoon roll. Raylene's doing a physics roll. Knight is doing a cartoon roll. Yelena, what are you doing?
Elena is used to jumping from great heights. We'll just land on feet.
Physics roll. Okay. Knight with the built-in shock absorbers, I'm going to say that's going to be 2d6. Yelena gets 2d6 because of that inspiration die. I'm trying to get that thing used up before I forget that I gave it to you. Raylene, that's going to be 1d6. Unless you have something to argue to give you another die.
Heroic!
Okay, fine.
Actually-
2d6.
My other option, look, I do transformation scenes, right? Transformation sequences.
Yes.
Transformation sequences have you float in the air and all of your stuff comes unraveled and then re-ravels again, etc., etc. Can I do a transformation sequence before I hit the bottom so that I float above and then land properly?
You do a transformation sequence. If you can do this roll properly with 2d6, I will let you do the transformation sequence a foot off the ground, so then you just sort of like drop down like you jumped off the bottom step of a set of stairs.
I rolled a 6 and I rolled a 1.
Okay.
I rolled a 6 and a 2.
Okay.
I rolled 2 4s.
Okay. And now my brain is forgetting if 2-4 succeeds or not for Yelena. I said that was a physics roll. You want to roll high. So
It's a
yes.
physics roll, so I want to roll high.
Yes. I had words coming out of my mouth to stall for me to look at the rules. Not that I ever do that before. So Yelena got 2 successes. Yelena does it flawlessly. The other 2 characters rolled above and below their numbers. So that was 1 success. There is a complication. Knight, your foot shock absorbers work mostly. When you stand back up to put your boots on, you notice that you're standing a little bit shorter than before. And you look down to see that where the upper leg portions of your armor meet your hip joints, they are to the side of your hip joints.
Oh no.
It's nothing that a good blacksmith can't solve, but you are currently not near a blacksmith that you are aware of.
Nor do I have a forge. I don't know if I can blacksmith, but I might. But I am not near a forge.
And now for Raylene's complication. You do in fact do your transformation sequence, but you did it a little bit too high up, and you still come down, landing not quite the way you wanted to. You are in fact comically face planting.
Oh no.
It's okay, your face broke your fall. The rest of you is not in contact with the ground. It's
Whoops.
in your
Let me
defense.
help you out.
In your defense, there is one part of your transformation sequence where you do a full somersault.
Yeah. That's why it's an embarrassing thing.
Ellie, that is one of my favorite things from the Deadpool movie. She's gonna do the superhero landing. Wait for it. Wait for it. It's really hard on the knees. And once again, I have switched channels. So now I gotta go back to one-shots. Not Plus Ultra. Not Cogworld. All right. So you are at the bottom of it's basically a shaft that comes down into a room that's made of the same cinder block covered walls. There is one, what appears to be iron door on the far wall from where you are, and there is a TV mounted near the ceiling in one of the corners of the room. It comes on, and you see a familiar smiling face. Hello. Well, according to the bylaws, I'm not actually supposed to kill any of you. So, for now, simply, this is self-defense. You're going to be here until I figure out what to do with you. Have fun! And the TV turns off.
She didn't pick her weapon.
I think perhaps this is your weapon.
So if we
This
get
is
out,
not a appropriate duel.
I agree. She has
Escape
chosen
room.
poorly.
yes. So it's an escape room.
Indeed. I shall find out what is available to us.
There's a
I'm gonna look
TV,
around.
a door, and a bunch of concrete.
There's no door.
There is a door. There is an iron door. It has one of those teeny little windows in it that has the glass that has the teeny little wires going through.
Reinforced glass.
Yes.
I will use my X-ray vision to see what is on the far side.
Oh, you get X-ray vision?
Yes, I'm Cosmonaut X1.
You know, that makes sense.
Yes, of course you would get X-rays.
Obviously.
We will not discuss how many members of the Cosmonaut team did have cancer later on in life.
That was not my fault. Sloppy cell storage.
The actual number is a state secret. Those records are
Of course
sealed.
it is.
Okay. So
The government
this-
wants what's best for us. Telling children how many of their heroes got cancer would be creepy.
Go ahead and roll 2d6 to look through a door. This is going to be a physics roll.
Well, it's a 4 and a 6.
Okay. So physics rolls, you have to roll high. Your number is 2. So the door is lined with lead, but not enough lead. Oh, it's just covered in lead paint.
Amateur.
Well, on the other side of this door does appear to be a long hallway with lights that are hanging from the ceiling. None of them are on, but they look like the lights that would slowly move back and forth while you walk down the hallway to give the shadows a sort of creepy moving vibe.
In
It is
live
definitely-
action, yes.
It is definitely the kind of hallway that would go for an indefinite length so that the animators could just have it move in the background for a scene.
All right. So, let us break down this door.
Excellent. I will put my boots back on,
Very well.
and then I will give it a kick.
Okay, so your number is 5. If you want a kick to be successful, you will have to explain how you are doing this in a silly way. It could be something silly happening by accident in spite of the knight trying to be serious. But something silly needs to be taking place for you to be able to do this without
Well,
rolling
I
a 5
feel
or a
like
6.
Knight doesn't realize what reinforced glass is, and is therefore attempting to put their foot through the window.
Oh, remember I said it was a tiny window?
Yes, I do.
Those tend to be higher up. I love everything about this.
Yes, I
Yes.
do.
Yes, this
Okay.
you have made this be a cartoon roll. 2d6, go at it.
Knight does one of those spinning wind-up punches and then kicks through the window.
No, because I rolled a 4 and a 6. I feel like
It's-
the complication is very obvious.
You very easily get your foot and a significant portion of your leg through the window. Matter of fact, the camera cuts to an exterior view, and your foot comes through the glass, sending it and the embedded wires flying down the hall. And then the rest of your leg comes through, almost up to the hip.
And then wiggles. And wiggles again.
Cut to the interior view. It is not clear how you were able to kick that high because your other leg is not touching the ground. Cut back to the exterior, and your flailing leg manages to hit the door handle. It's one of those latch style ones, not the post and knob thing. So you are able to, in fact, hit that, and the door swings open, taking you with it.
I have opened the door, but closed the window.
Well, I'm a
An
window
inspiration die for
close-
Ellie, for EO. Ellie's my default, but it's EO this time. I got a laugh from Ellie. Brings me joy.
Yes.
So the complication is you are still currently part of the door.
Hmm. Let's get on the correct side of the door and ugh. My makeup is ruined. I need to do another transformation sequence or two to get rid of this.
Consider yourself lucky. We did not have smeared makeup cells.
It's not the smeared makeup cell, it's the I've been smacked and now I have the great big lump on me.
Ellie, I understood that pun. Regardless,
Oh no, there was a oh no.
I thought it was
smearing is an animation technique.
Oh.
Chuck
Dear.
Jones is one of the pioneers of it, I believe. But he was very much not Russian. So, everyone except for the knight is on the other side of the door. Technically, the
I am
knight is
on
also
both
on the other side of the
sides
door.
of the
Yes,
door.
you are on both sides of the door. This is correct. But your current problem is not one of my doing. The current problem is you are on both sides of the door
To
and
the
cannot
door.
continue.
continue down the hallway.
I will assist the knight
If
in
we
retrieving itself from the door.
If we take off their boot, will that help?
There's the rest of the leg
Maybe
armor
if-
to contend with.
You pull from that direction and I push on this one.
I'll try to push the boot from the window through to the correct side.
That seems like a better idea.
Yelena, you push too?
Yes, of course.
Pull. Or you pull.
All right.
Okay, Yelena pulls, and Raylene's going to push. All you have is a hammer, every problem looks like a nail. That leg sticking out of the window does look like a nail.
Does anyone have a hammer?
I mean, your character art has a sword on your back.
I'm not sure I can push with
Regardless,
Okay, so-
someone's going to.
Suggestion for what's in my mind. Yelena and Knight are doing their level best to genuinely pull Knight's leg out of the window. On the far side, where they cannot see her, Raylene gathers her strength. Does the maybe or maybe not the spit on your hands and rub them together,
I was thinking of the same thing.
Possibly.
and then backs up down the corridor, runs forward and shoulder checks the leg.
That sounds about right. I never said Raylene was a smart hero.
Okay, Raylene,
Yes.
I'm going to ask you to make a physics roll
Oh no.
with 3d6 because there are two people helping you.
Physics is not my strong point. Let's
That's
go
true,
for
but you have
this.
3 attempts.
I got 3, 4, 5.
Okay. That's 2 successes and a cartoon physics.
Woo!
So, you succeed, you do it well, And you have two options. One, you can ask the GM a question, and I'll answer honestly. You have to do it right now because we all know I'll forget if you don't. Or you may, instead of asking a question, have your character temporarily defy the rules of your genre, role, or even the world, provided you don't break any game rules.
Drat, I cannot think of anything that follows on logically from this.
Okay. Well, I will tell you without you giving me a different answer, I'm going to say that shoulder checking the leg does two things. One, Knight pops out of the window like a cork from a champagne bottle. Two, Yelena and Knight land on the ground in the original room as the door slams shut behind them.
I am going to use my cartoon physics to make sure that the door, when it slams shut, manages to break off its hinges. And as they land in, go bump, 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 winding up against the far wall, the door slams shut. And for a moment, it's like, oh no, we're locked in again. And then all the little cracks appear around the door frame. First they appear around the hinges, and then they appear around the door frame, and then the whole frame just sort of falls inwards at their feet.
With you standing there.
With me standing there, having struck the thing, and there's just sort of a pause, and then heroic pose!
You do, in fact, form a heroic pose, and you are silhouetted in your heroic pose because at that moment, the lights in the hallway pop, pop, pop as they each come on in a sequence, illuminating the next step of your journey. And we've been playing for about an hour. What do you say we take a short break? And we're back. And
heroic
there's
pose.
no NPCs in this scene, so there's no one to call out something about a punchline. But I was thinking about it hard. There is craft services, but it's the other side of...
Crash.
Yes?
We already did the punchline.
Oh.
The door.
That was a kick line.
Well, actually, it was a shoulder check line, but close enough, Close
It was
enough.
both of those. And now the door is a throw rug. A very heavy, lead-painted throw rug.
Lead paint is toxic. Let this be a lesson to all who would defile the... Look, some might have licked that, all right?
If it's a throw rug, am I supposed to throw it?
Probably not. But we can always... I don't know, we could take it along. Is lead paint even legal?
One uses what one can find.
Oh, I mean, the homeowner bylaws. Is that even in the homeowner bylaws?
You'd
Aren't
have
they
to give me a
supposed to-
physics roll.
Someone needs to remember the homeowner bylaws. Okay, I will try to do a physics roll.
It's 1d6. You are not prepared for this conversation.
No. But someone else might be.
You get the exact opposite of what you needed.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
a 1. We don't
Yep.
do critical fails in cartoon physics or lasers and feelings. But if we did, you have a hard time remembering anything about the bylaws. They seem to be somewhat eldritch.
I'm a hero, not a lawyer.
Regardless, the door is no longer a
Yelena.
barrier. There is a long hallway that is lit with lights that slowly swing in a non-existent breeze to make the hallway creepier. And you
But
can
only the
continue-
lights move. The fixtures move. The light actually stays stable.
That's creepier.
No, it's just easier to animate.
Well, yeah,
Well,
that's true.
Speaking of easier to animate, you walk down this hallway for a good 5 minutes, but it's the same scene rotating past you for the entire 5 minutes.
And here I thought that the homeowner association was... I'm wondering about what her transformation sequence is. I really am.
Unfortunately, this was done with the lowest bidder in mind, so there is one part where you can tell where it is repeating. It doesn't quite mesh up properly with the edge of the cell.
If we can't find a door soon, let's go get the door that we had, and either we can smack it up against a wall and see if it opens into anything interesting, or we can try to use it to pry the cells apart.
You bump into a door.
This is what happens when you're trying to talk to people about things while walking backwards. And look, she can walk backwards just fine. Boom.
In your defense, the door is painted to look like the hallway continuing on. There are the skeletal
Definite
remains of a coyote next to the door.
Uh-oh. I'm very concerned about that. Is that a haunted skeleton, or is that just A window dressing skeleton.
It appears to be decor.
Knight crouches down in front of it and waves their hand in front of its face as if they expect it to wake up.
You notice the underside of the skull is labeled Botho.
Ah.
Fake skull, which doesn't actually mean it wouldn't wake up necessarily.
The spider webs that are built around it also appear to have been placed.
Are we in her Halloween pantry or something?
I will try to open the door.
The door opens. Once you know it's there, the illusion is broken.
Yes.
And you enter a room that your first thought when you open the door is it's an indoor pool. It has that humid, things have been damp and started to get just a little mildewy, but not enough for someone to bother dealing with it yet smell. And there is a very thin stretch of surface area on the inside of the door, well, on the other side of the door, that you can all three stand on. And there is a similar stretch on the far side of the room. The rest of it is water that comes up to maybe an inch below the edge of the platform that you are on. The water is murky. There is a TV in the corner of the room that appears to have been properly waterproofed because it is not mildewy. And it pops on, and there's that smiling face again. Oh, so you found your way out of the room. That's okay. You've had a long day, I'm sure. Why not have a relaxing swim? Keep in mind, anything that happens to you after breaking and entering into my home and threatening me, well, that's on you. I'm not legally liable for any of it, according to our bylaws. Goodbye.
We didn't.
And the TV turns off.
But I think that we got invited in. I mean, that's what the porch swap swirly was. If you imprison someone, then that's not breaking and entering. That's escaping. In the name of the powers of good, we will punish you.
There is no
I think
response.
maybe she cannot hear us.
In a fit of pique that she's totally going to regret later, Raylene is going to attempt to use one of her magic swords to hurl it into the television point first, because.
I can see why I would say this would be a physics roll, but I'm going to allow it to be a cartoon roll because it's silly to me. 2d6.
2d6.
You rolled a 3 and a 5.
One's a success, one's a failure.
I'm noticing a habit of I give you either a cartoon or a physics thing, and you roll above and below when I give you 2d6.
Sorry about
splitting
that.
The difference. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. So you do, in fact, throw your sword directly into the TV. It is a modern TV, not a CRT display. So it doesn't have the same explosive effect that one would get a lot of catharsis out of. Instead, it goes through the TV. There's a sound. And then after a moment where everything is perfectly still, the sword and TV fall off the wall, leaving just the mounting brackets for the TV, go into the water, and there's a few more splashes than there should have been, as long, textured shapes rise up to the surface and go back down again.
I'm not surprised.
You have discovered why she has that lever.
I might be able to walk along the bottom to the other side.
Would that help us?
I don't know.
Well, I can jump across.
True. We did manage that jump before.
The ceiling is a bit lower than an outside jump. You would have to angle it just right. I'm not saying it's impossible. You're cartoon characters. I'm saying it would be a little bit harder.
We might need to open the door and get a good running start.
Yes.
But
my Cosmo jump should carry me safely across. You have something similar, Niet?
The power of heroism and standing on light poles and jumping up onto light poles. I wish I had a light pole. Or a telephone pole.
Does the mounting bracket count?
Is there enough room above it for me to at least crouch dramatically?
It is unfortunately on the other side of the room. Otherwise, you would not have seen it.
Yes, but you see, if I aim for that, then that's a perfectly heroically shoujo manga display. You know, it would look good if there's enough room.
There isn't quite. It was near the ceiling.
Here. let me jump, and then I will provide a pull. I will use my zero gravity Cosmo jump to cross the pool.
Okay. This is going to be a physics roll. 2d6.
1 and a 3, so a partial success.
Okay. Zero
I
gravity.
too have done the one above, one below.
Zero gravity means that you don't need the same arc that you would need for a ballistic trajectory. It also means that you
Smack into the
remain
wall on the far side.
fairly close to the water throughout the trip. You pull an Yzma.
Oh no.
You land on the other side with what part of your outfit is currently trailing an alligator by the teeth?
My boot, because that's funniest. I have to hop around to get it off.
It doesn't really want to let go, but it's not holding on in a way where it can do anything because it wasn't expecting you to keep moving at speed after it jumped up and bit. It did this when you were
I'm a
halfway
very
across.
confused alligator.
It is a very confused alligator that would like it if you just gave up and got back into the water so it could do a death roll properly. But you're not doing that.
I will smack it on the nose a couple times with my electro spear, which I don't have a name for yet.
It gives a comically dog-like yelp as it lets go and splashes back into the water.
It's supposed to sound like lasers.
The baby
Did
ones.
Did she get off-brand alligators?
All right.
There's 2 levers on the wall next to you, by the way.
I will study the levers.
Someone comes from off screen and hands you a diploma in lever studying. Leverology. They then disappear from off
Really
screen.
good at exiting rooms.
And
No.
now you have an asset.
Otherwise, the levers look identical.
Are they both pointing in the same direction?
Yes. They are both angled up.
So one closes the doors over the poor crocodiles, and the other summons the I can't say Leviathan and Leviathan.
Leviathan.
Yes, Leviathan.
It's the giant lever that rises up out of the ocean.
Well, if they're indistinguishable, then I'll pull the one on the left.
One lever always tells the truth. One lever always lies.
A platform rises up out of the water. It is covered in pond scum, but it does connect the 2 platforms.
Oh,
See,
the bridge.
she is sinister. So the useful lever would be on the left.
If I had,
That
I just rolled a
makes sense.
1d2. If I had rolled a 1, it would have been the wrong lever.
Sometimes you get lucky.
And I would have required the other 2 characters to roll to see how they get out of the water.
Thump. I see.
But alas, you are able to cover the treacherous platform and move on.
My boots. I'm going to have to do such a transformation sequence like 5 times to get this off my boots.
All right. And you're able to go through the door to the next room, which appears to have a flight of stairs.
I love how you say appears.
Well, you open the door, there's a flight of stairs going up.
I will ascend the stairs.
Okay.
I
You go
would
down the
poke
stairs.
Down the stairs or up the stairs?
Well, you were going up the stairs, but then you get to a platform and it looks like you went down a flight of stairs. Perhaps that set of stairs over there goes up?
I'm
You
gonna wait.
Escher.
I'm going to wait until someone gets back on the Escher case.
Yes,
I
it is
am
in fact an
going-
Escher room.
To start climbing.
All right. Within 15 seconds, there is a musical number where you're all ending up on different spots in this Escher room, looking
Mhm.
in various directions towards the other person where physics is just not a thing for anyone else. For you, physics is going just fine. Thank you very much. But for everyone else, they shouldn't be over there.
Or upside down or sideways.
Exactly. How are you going to get out of the Escher room?
Are there any other doors?
Oh, there's several. They seem to open up to other parts of the Escher room. Well, that's what you've tried so far. There should be a way that you'd be able to avoid this, so tell me how you avoid it.
Can I see the door we came in through?
They all look the same, so probably,
It's the one that has pond scum. It's the one that has pond scum, right?
unless you wiped your boots off.
No. I mean,
You just
maybe
rather
before
complain
going
about
on.
You just rather complain
Well,
about it?
I mean, it's going to be hanging on. There's going to be pond scum anyway. I possibly wiped it off on the first stairs that I went on, you know?
Okay. Well, yes, you probably see the door you came in. But what you need is the door you go out.
If
I'm
we
going
rip.
to orient myself to the door that we came in. and then jump up as high as I can.
Okay. Give me. It feels like I shouldn't let any of you do a physics roll in this specific room.
Yeah, this is a cartoon room.
But the whole idea of I'm just going to pick a direction and go in that way has very strong. Those rules don't apply to me because I can't read vibes.
Yeah.
Well, also they are very much a cosmonaut thing. You have oriented yourself in a gravity is dubious situation, and now you're going to get above that plane.
You know what? Because gravity and lack thereof are things that a cosmonaut would be used to, I will allow it to be 2d6. Go ahead and give me 2d6 for a physics roll in the cartoon room.
That's a 3 and a 2 for a success in cartoon physics.
You do get a success and a cartoon physics. You succeed, you do it well. How do you break this room?
Now that I'm using my Cosmo Jump to turn gravity off, for me, like the whole conceit of the Cosmo Jump is that gravity doesn't affect me for the duration of the jump. The room doesn't understand what to do with someone who isn't affected by gravity, because its whole thing is individualized gravity. So someone who doesn't experience gravity causes trouble. And as I pass the various staircases, they all try to grab me and fail and wind up orienting themselves in a way that allows the other two to pass through, as long as they do it quickly.
So
Knight is running.
Your two friends are running after you. One of them heroically, one of them clomping.
Hmm.
I am clomping heroically.
My
you are
long
clomping
golden
heroically,
ponytail.
perhaps kind of like a Wild West cowboy, because your hips are in fact still dealing with the fall damage from previous, which makes it funnier.
Oh no, we need a blacksmith.
And because the room doesn't know how to deal with this, and is trying to catch you, the map painting doesn't manage to get out of your way, and you go through it.
You have broken the fourth wall.
There's, on the other side, it's all painted black.
Even the doors?
Even the doors.
Those poor doors. They used to be red.
Somebody wanted painted black. I'm sorry. The exit sign is properly labeled, though.
Look, I have found the exit.
That was clever.
Very.
Well then.
Sometimes you need to brute force the problem.
Yes, but you did it very cleverly. I was just going to start tearing doors off their hinges. Well, I was going to ask Knight to do it, but it worked so well in the first room.
There. You will get the chance to tear doors off their hinges in the future.
Well, forward!
Yes. Forward.
Indeed.
Okay.
I see a bright future where all citizens get to tear doors off their hinges.
And you go
the
through
democracy
the exit door.
of doors.
The democratization of disarming doors. Delightful.
Yeah.
Dastardly. You go through the door to find that you are, in fact, in a rec room. This is a finished basement that you have just walked into. It's got some couches. It has a conversation pit, which is slightly damp because finished basement. There is a carpet. It probably should be changed. There's some TVs. There's a fireplace over against the wall. And there is, in fact, the president of the Homeowners Association sitting in the center of a leather couch. Same rictus smile on her face. I believe you challenged me to a duel previously.
And you chose escape rooms, and we have escaped.
I don't believe I responded at all with the weapon of choice. Not you. Fatboy Slim hangs his head and walks away slowly. Christopher Walken follows.
Yes, that is my job on this adventure.
Well, I choose this couch. And the leather cushions shift and wrap around the president and form a mech suit.
I knew she had a transformation sequence.
Yes,
I
but
knew it.
It's more Iron Man puts on a suit of armor, but is that real leather? Oh, that's so out of style these days. No one uses real leather anymore. But regardless,
leather mecha. You're wearing a cowskin suit.
Very bourgeois.
Tacky. Or maybe body horror. I'm not sure.
It was on sale! And she rushes forward to attack. What do you do?
I take my giant sword and I swing it like a baseball bat.
I duck.
I dodge to the side. Let's dodge to the side and more just like myself slides over.
Knight, how is this going to be comical?
Well, I think that it's fairly comical that I'm swinging the flat end of the sword in order to play baseball and or tennis with the couch mech.
Well, when you say it like that,
Look, this is an all-ages show. I cannot stab things.
you
This
could
sword
stab
is a
plenty
blunt
of parts.
weapon.
You could stab plenty of things that are no longer alive, yes. However, roll 2d6 to try to send the HOA president to the bleachers.
I got a 5 and a 2.
One of those is cartoon physics,
Yes.
but that's 2
yes, it is.
successes. How do you break the laws of physics with this batter-up?
I have an idea.
What's your idea?
I mean, couch-shaped mecha holes all the way up through the roof.
I was going to say I hit a home run.
Yeah.
There is
We all circle the record.
a silhouette hole. Like you all gather around and look up through a silhouette of a couch mecha in what to you is the ceiling. The camera is looking down at you through the floor to see all three of you peering up with little bits of house falling down on top of you. Not huge chunks, just little bits
Crumble,
of
crumble.
yeah, crumble. To show that something has recently passed through here. The camera continues to pan up, going through the ceiling of the first floor, and the ceiling of the second floor, and the crawl space, and the attic roof. In the epilogue, when personnel arrive, they find copious amounts of lead-based paint that were applied after the grandfathering in clause in the HOA policies. The president is required to resign in disgrace. And with absolutely no one able to figure out how to get their name on the ballot to run to replace the HOA president, the Homeowners Association Act unfortunately has to dissolve.
Running like paint in the vat of paint dissolver.
That is where we're going to wrap it up. Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you everyone for playing. This was a lot of fun to do. Cartoon physics is a nice diversion.
2 XP because there was combat.
Yes. Yes, you all get 2 GURPS XP because there was combat, and it's the end of an arc, so you get an additional 5 on top of that. My name is Crash. I was your GM for the evening. Tonight I was joined by a bunch of awesome people, including Beth, Ellie, who is not Ely because it's after Halloween and the name got changed back, and this is going to go live in February, so regardless, don't worry about it. Who wants to plug a thing?
My player writes books. They're not necessarily ultra heroic books, but I can't help that. She's my player. But you can find them at elizabethmccoy.com or your local library. You can check on Hoopla. They're all ebooks. I'm afraid. I mean, yeah. So, and speaking of heroic cool things,
Blame it on the fatigue and not anything else, but I think I got distracted by Ellie's name and didn't say I was also joined by Io.
whoops.
But yes, Beth, Ellie, and Io. And speaking of cool things, we take all these podcasts and put them over on aaronbsmith.com. And you can also support us on Patreon by going to patreon.com/CosmoGaming and help us keep the lights on, along with other illustrious patrons, including Ellie, Liv Drummond, Paul, Shen Shen, Walter, and Patron Emeritus Cindy. And until next time, this is Crash saying, I'll get you next time! As soon as I land, I think I'm in orbit.
You managed the escape trajectory just right. She never lands.
Space. Space. I'm in space. 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 I'm in space. Space.
Darn it, you can't hear me applauding next to the microphone.
And now you all have an asset in, whatever that was. I think these mushrooms were not the good ones.
Baseball?
I told you not to eat those mushrooms. I told you they only looked like the good ones.
You told me not to eat those mushrooms. These are different mushrooms that were growing nearby. Good night.